a Mad Tea Party production. If you enjoy our show, make sure you become a Patreon. Subscribe to us on Apple iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Listen to us on iHeartRadio and Spotify. For more information, visit us at videostoretales.com. Now, on with the show.
He always wanted to be 5 years older throughout the 80s. He was always chasing what he couldn't have. The look, the girls, the cars, the money. And by the time he was old enough, the world had changed. That's why he hates and loves the 80s.
Welcome to Tales from the Video Store.
I like seeing Linda Hamilton shoot stuff. I'll be honest with you. That's my takeaway from it. Is it?
Linda Hamilton saying, "I'll be back," and throwing a bomb out. It's pretty awesome to me.
And killing a robot with a rocket launcher. That's all I give a shit about.
What do you think? We just watched the Terminator Dark Fate trailer, and I think we're all on board.
I don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it?
I don't ever want to see any more Terminator movies unless it's just the Terminator, which is the only one that I really liked.
But in the words of the ever-wise Lee Bridges, we're going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to give my money, just like I will for another Halloween movie or another Friday the 13th. I will show up and I will give my $10 and I will watch it. And so will you.
Yeah, but that sucks, man, because I'm already predisposed to hate it.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like all these movies, force-fed. It's like you're numb to it. Like, I don't expect anything good out of it whatsoever. So that sucks going into a movie feeling like that.
Well, did you feel like that against Halloween? You did, didn't you?
I tried not to, but once it started, I'm like, here we fucking go again. It's the same thing. It's just, because you're seeing the same thing, and somebody's trying to present it in a new way, and it's like, man, how original is this really?
When did Hollywood decide that original content is not as good or as valuable as rehashing the same old
Once
shit?
they started seeing how much money they were making on doing these remakes, they said, fuck the originals.
Yeah. The hedge funds opened up for
Terminator also,
7. 6.
It's an easy thing to say yes to. Like, you have an original script that's an unknown quantity. Yeah. Now, if you have a proven intellectual property like Terminator, even if the last two were garbage, everybody still loves the first two.
It's like, I've got Linda Hamilton attached. I've got Schwarzenegger attached.
James Cameron producing.
Cameron's producing it.
Yeah.
What can go wrong? Well...
Yeah, and you got a good point.
And so it's just like, it's basically, if I was a film producer, or an executive rather, there's probably less of a chance of me getting fired for greenlighting a Terminator movie than it is an original movie. And that's what a lot of us do. It's just people just don't lose their jobs.
Yeah. The quality of the movie,
sucks being an independent producer. When you get fired as a studio executive, they give you a job as a producer. So some people say it's a punishment.
Right.
Yeah. And
that may be it.
Yeah,
I will go see it. You're right, but I think I really am at my wit's end.
I don't think
seeing the same old stuff over and over.
If this one bombs, there won't be another one for like 10 years. I don't think.
But I promise you,
the last one. Oh yes, the last one did.
There will be another one.
Oh, there will be another.
And there'll be another one after that. They'll continue to make this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's just there's money in it.
As we're looking at a Terminator skull right here on our desk.
Yeah,
there's money.
There's money in it.
Is this the T1000?
T800.
T800.
Yeah, the 1000 is the liquid metal one.
This is the...
Yes.
T800.
T800, yeah. That's the Arnold one.
This is the base version.
That's the 1999 version.
Actually, this is the...
1984 version.
Yeah, this is the 84 version.
Well, I meant $19.99.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, for sure. At least.
Yes.
If not more.
Well, how we doing out there in podcast land? We're back, all tales from the video store. We just reviewed yet another trailer, part of our new little format. We're going to be watching trailers and talking about movies that are coming out as, along with the movies we've watched and the movies that have been out that nobody's heard or seen.
Yeah.
And that's what we're bringing you. That's what we're bringing you. We're bringing you info. So let's get on with it.
Let's do it.
Did you watch some movies this week?
Always. I did. Always watch the movies.
Because we have absolutely no other life.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
what am I going to do out there? Go out and talk to people?
Yeah.
Not in this fucking life.
I don't want to even leave the fucking house.
I'm going to drink my bourbon, and I'm going to watch my movies with my little notebook, and I'm going to come to the podcast.
Were you in my house Saturday night?
Yeah.
One of the movies, we were at the Spot. We did a little spot at the Spot. I don't know if whoever watched it. We were there. There's video proof. And I skimmed through and picked up a couple of movies. And one of the movies that I got was a Die Hard, still in package, Blu-ray. That I don't think I'd ever seen this movie on Blu-ray. I mean, I've seen it 1,000 times, and it's been some time since I'd watched it. So I wasn't really excited to get home and watch it until it came on, and it looked fucking. It might be the best 1980s Blu-ray that I have ever seen,
and it's a perfect movie.
Outside of it being perfect, it could not have looked better.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman and McTiernan, who's due out of prison.
No, he's out of prison.
He's out.
Supposedly going to make another movie.
Right, we talked about this a few weeks ago.
With Uma Thurman, based on an original idea.
Harvey Weinstein will not be producing.
He will not.
Nor will Quentin Tarantino.
No.
Not that we know of.
Yes.
No.
So I don't want to really get into the movie itself. Everybody's seen it. And if you haven't, go fucking rent it. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about a couple of key shots that I saw from the movie that I was like, man, what a killer shot that is. The first shot I saw, once they figure out that John has no shoes on, and they start blasting out this room full of glass.
Shoot the glass.
Yeah, there's one of Hans's henchmen comes running at him, and Bruce shoots him in the knees, and the guy kind of falls head first into this just random piece of glass that's there, and it looks fucking great.
Yeah.
And it is not CGI, it's not bullshit, like it is man-made, and it looks brilliant. Another shot that I was like, damn man, that looks really good, is when he jumps off the roof while he's got the hose attached to himself, and then flies into the window, and then the large, I guess it's spool that this is attached to rips off and starts to fall, and the camera it's like a first-person POV of him basically being pulled out of this broken window as he's trying to get this thing untied. And it looked fucking great. Like, I was like, God damn, get it untied,
When he's hanging inside the air vent, when he falls and catches himself in the level, my palms sweat every time I see that. And I've watched it 50 times.
Yeah.
That movie rivals my favorite movies, Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yeah.
as far as action movies. It's my favorite movie, period. But that movie almost took the title. And Bruce Willis almost took the title.
And talking about the look of it, it was shot by Jan De Bont right before he became a film director. Yeah. If you ever wonder why Speed is such a well-constructed movie, because he shot Die Hard. Yeah. Basically, he knew how to do it at that point.
Yeah. And Speed is another.
Yeah, it's a really good. Yeah.
And Baba Hans, like the last scene with Hans Gruber is just awesome when he's clutching at his wife's bracelet, and then Bruce kind of gets it on. Those three shots just looked amazing.
Yep.
If you've never seen this movie, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, story-wise,
there is nothing to complain about.
No, there's not an ounce of fat on it. Like the guy on the plane tells him to make fists with his toes. Yeah. When he gets there to relieve the stress. That's why he's not wearing shoes. Like literally everything connects to every other thing.
Everything is perfectly constructed. Yeah. It is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And it's just Even the tension they build with the limo driver when he's trying to call him, and they cut to him, and he's got the music up loud, and he's talking to his girls. You're just like you want to go through the TV and shake that dude and be like, dude, help him out. You know what I mean? That's how. Just that movie's so good. It's just so good.
And it's got plenty of comedy in it, plenty of action. It's quintessential fucking.
You know what's the only thing that takes me out of the movie, but it's now, is when they introduce Al's character. He's at the gas station, and I'm like, fucking gas is 85 cents a gallon. I noticed that like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
85 cents a gallon, yep.
And that's in Los Angeles.
That's Los Angeles price.
Yeah, just imagine.
That's how they could afford to take over the Fox building to make that movie without any green screen.
That's true.
Because gas was 85 cents a gallon, and now it's $2.
Alan Rickman's first movie.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, he was a big stage guy.
Yeah.
He just was absolutely perfect.
He's good at everything.
He really is. And the ballet dancer, Alexander, what's his name? Who played the head henchman?
Yeah, the blonde-haired guy.
The blonde-haired guy.
He was in that, in the Money Pit, and that's it.
Well, he killed himself like a few years after he was in Die Hard.
Really?
Apparently, yeah. But like they don't do that anymore. Like where he has the Steyr, the special gun. Like they don't set henchmen up like that anymore. Like when he puts that gun together, you know that he's the guy.
He is the guy.
But the only flaw in the movie.
Did he even say anything?
He says when they tell him his brother's dead, he has like a dialogue scene there. But other than that, really not much.
But it didn't matter. He didn't need it.
The only plot hole I found in the movie is why is his gun in the body bag with him at the end when he pops out? Like what cop was like, I just put that in there.
Just shove this in here. It's fine.
Like that's some lazy police work.
I didn't even think about that, but like a lot of '80s movies.
Oh yeah,
you don't think about
that. Was on my 50th viewing when I realized.
Yeah, the deets that, the little baby deets. I could care less, watching.
But like it is as far as you want. I've actually have a screenwriting book and it's one thing is just every couple pages they'll just go watch Die Hard. Like it's on when we're talking about structuring a film. They're like, just go watch Die Hard.
Yes.
It's that
or Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Exactly.
It's always the Die Hard, Butch Cassidy.
Yep.
It's always the same for structure. Die Hard is one of those.
Yep.
The other movie I watched is somewhat connected to what we watched tonight. It's a movie from 1987 called Magnificent Warriors.
Right.
Starring my Michelle Yeoh.
Crouching Tiger, Honk My Bobo.
This is a weird movie, man.
They're all weird. They're 80s kung fu movies.
She is a badass with a bullwhip at the opening. She's kind of a spy, but more like a spy's kind of henchman, although she kind of does all the dirty work. She wears a bomber jacket the whole time. This takes place sometime during World War II.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what time. And basically, it's just Michelle fucking people up doing Michelle things.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole movie, story-wise...
Sounds like an A+.
It's her as Indiana Jones. Basically,
it is very Indiana Jones. It's like a mix of Indiana Jones and some weird James Bond.
Right. There are in the mid '80s. There were many Hong Kong movies that were just like, well, that's just Indiana Jones. Like Jackie Chan had one. The movie he almost died making, Armor of God, is 100% Raiders of the Lost Ark.
She gets into an airplane and has a dogfight with a dude that has a Hitler mustache, which is pretty amazing. In this movie, I guess the Chinese view the Japanese kind of like the rest of the world at that time, the rest of the Eastern world, like Eastern Europe and the United States viewed the Nazis.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are invading China and they're trying to...
There's a movie called Men Behind the Sun about the Nanking Massacre that is unwatchable. About the second pregnant woman that got bayoneted in the stomach by a Japanese soldier, I was like, okay, I'm going to go outside.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like some of the stuff that Japan did to China during World War II is just...
Yeah.
Like,
and that was a question I had. Yeah. Like, is any of this, like, in any way, like, how historically accurate is this?
The Nanking Massacre is the most considered one. Like, they tested what we would call nerve gas on them. Like, basically did, like, biological warfare tests on them.
Right.
just slaughtered hundreds of thousands of them. Not as many as in, but then the Nazis had a machine that did that. They had a plot to do that. This is more just they got there and there was a bunch of Chinese people they didn't need.
Yeah.
It was less organized in that way, but it was horrific. Like I said, Men of Tai Chi was one of the movies I didn't finish. And the director of it actually died like 2 days ago. But he made like 4 of them, all about the Nanking Massacre, and just boiling people, arms to see when the meat falls off, and just like stuff you just
weird experiments.
And it's kind of like we talked about, like those murder documentaries. Like, is he documenting it, or is he just making an exploitation movie?
Right.
And
if I found myself at times watching this, I'm like, what is this? Because it's the plot is, I'm not real sure.
Most of it takes place in that village, but
a lot of it's in the village. Then she leaves. Then she comes back.
Yeah.
Her buddy Sky 001, who is kind of like Chinese James Bond, and then there's like a dude with a poncho. I'm not sure if he's Chinese or if he's Mexican.
Yeah.
And they kind of do their thing. Basically, none of that really matters.
No.
It's Michelle doing Michelle things, and if you know her and you love her, then rent this.
It's an excuse.
You've never seen
you can watch it on Prime if you have Prime. It's an excuse for her to look cool.
And she does.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's not really, it's an okay movie.
Yeah, it's nothing great. It has some killer scenes too.
Oh, yeah.
Just like slow-mo shots of her doing some fancy, I don't know, fancy kung fu. I hate to say that, but I guess that's what it is. Her fight scenes are amazing.
Doing the scorpion kick.
Yeah, and just all kinds of craziness.
Yeah.
But the opening scene where she comes out with a bullwhip and she's like out whipping Indiana Jones, I was like, who the fuck? Who do you think you are?
This is probably one of those. Was that a Golden Harvest movie too?
Yes,
I think so. Yes.
Oh, everything was a Golden Harvest.
Yeah.
They were just pumping them out.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and it's like I say, it's not terrible. I've seen worse movies from this era, but if you like her,
it's entertaining but forgettable. Like, I wouldn't watch it again, and I love Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah. So that's what I watched.
Did you see anything, Lee?
I did. I went and saw John Wick 3.
Oh!
And
we were just talking about going after we got done with the podcast.
Fucking incredible.
Is it really?
It's pretty much Stuntman the movie.
Okay, so this is great.
Yeah.
We're going to do something unprecedented.
Okay.
I watched the first 2 this week.
Right.
How good are these movies?
They're very good.
Are they really? Are like, what? Like, who would have thought you put Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Like, his dog, they kill his dog and steal his car,
Yep.
and it starts the resurrection of Satan himself.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best thing ever. Right. So is the third better than the second?
I think the third's better. I think it's as good as the first one and better than the second one.
Oh, good.
It's and I like the second. First time I watched the second, I was kind of on it because I loved the first one so much. So I haven't rewatched it. The second one's very enjoyable. The third one it's one long action scene. It's just, you'll recognize stuntmen from, like, there are people from the Raid movies in it. Mark Dacascos is sort of his arch nemesis in the movie.
That's what I was dying to ask you.
He loves John Wick so much, like that's like his hero. There's one scene where Keanu kills a guy, but him and Mark Dacascos are separated by like bulletproof glass, and he just like grins at Keanu and gives him like the double thumbs up, like, you killed that guy, that was amazing. Like, he loves John Wick so much. He like tells him, like, me and you are the same. He said, we're the same kind of guy, and Keanu's like, he'll never admit it. He's like, no, we're not. We're not the same at all. And he basically wants John Wick to validate him while he's trying to murder him, and like Halle Berry's great, Angelica Houston's great. Halle Berry's dogs bite a lot of dudes' dicks off.
See, that just sounds like
the first time it happened, you're like, okay, that was. Then it kept happening.
It just keeps happening.
Like, okay, you kind of see the intricateness of the hitman world in this much more than you do in the first two. Ian McShane is amazing. I'm sure he just likes doing this movie because he's sitting in a chair wearing very comfortable clothes, drinking and
talking all cool
and saying cool things.
And he had the best lines in the first one.
Yeah,
he had the best lines in the first one when he comes out and he says, "Your contract has been terminated."
Right. Yeah.
Yep. That's it. And then he walks off and they shoot her.
Yep. And his character is very important in the third one. And much more so than in the first two. I loved it. One of my favorite movies I've seen this year.
Nice.
And other than that, I watched a movie by Jesse Johnson, a guy who's directed a lot. He directed the upcoming movie Triple Threat. But it's a movie with Scott Adkins, who I talked about last week, called Avengement. Which is it's not really a martial arts movie. It's just like a British gangster revenge movie. Like, Scott, he's like a normal guy that gets put in prison, and when he gets out of prison, he's just a wild animal. Like metal teeth, face, like, covered in scars, just... He is like, how some people call prison an animal factory. Well, he was an animal when he got out. And his brother was this sort of low-level gangster who had this really interesting scam, which I'm sure is real, I've just never heard of it. Like, you borrow $5,000 off this gangster. Why, as you're going to go buy whatever you're going to buy, you get mugged. Well, the guy who mugs you works for the gangster.
Right, of course.
So you have to keep paying interest on this money you don't have. So once you paid out of your money, they go to your dad and go, listen, Doug steals us all this money. If you'll do, all you have to do is carry this package, and it's done. When he goes to carry the package, what happens? He gets mugged.
He gets tracked.
So it's like, basically they just burn out these people until they're nothing, and then they kill them, and then they just move on to somebody else.
I got you.
And that kind of ties in with how Scott Adkins went to prison. And when he gets out, he just murders everybody. There's a bar fight at the end, which is just incredible. Like like I said, he does martial arts because his character was a boxer before he went to prison.
Right.
So there is a lot of fighting in the movie, but he's just like, they do the thing what they call prison napalm, where they make a cup of coffee, but they fill it up with sugar all the way up, and like piping hot water, where it's just like liquid sugar.
Yes.
And throw it on his face is all melted on one side, and just it's his best performance in the movie. Like,
and I know
great.
you like him.
I do, and he's great in it.
Nice.
You get to see him evaporate a dude's head with a double barrel shotgun, like point blank. It just turns to nothing. Yeah, and he's really cool. Like Avengement. I rented it online. Enjoyed the hell out of it.
Avengement.
Like I would say, it's his Get Carter. Was what I would compare it to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I watched John Wick and John Wick 2. Looking for, getting ready to get pumped up to go see the third one in the movie theater. I don't think we need to discuss it.
No.
We just discussed it.
Yes, they're amazing.
They are amazing.
And why more stuntmen aren't movie directors, I don't know. Because like Hal Needham, the guys who did the John Wick movies, a lot of Hong Kong movies directed by stunt guys.
Yeah.
It's like they know how to do everything so economically that you never really hear, oh, this guy, like he went over $100 million on. No, it's never that, because they know the below the line information that you need to do to make a movie.
Yeah.
Which it's like we're talking about Jan De Bont. He was a DP, so every movie he ever made looked amazing.
Looked amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even Speed 2 looked amazing.
Right, yeah.
Despite the movie not being any
Not
good.
that great, yeah. Willem Dafoe has leeches for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, anyway,
But the blue,
One thing about it.
you're not missing anything. Yeah.
But what's great about these movies is they're star packed. Like, I mean, John Wick. The first one had Michael Nyqvist, Alfie Allen.
Yep. Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, Dean Winters, the
Yep.
Chaos Man from
Yep.
the Nationwide commercials, and he's perfect. John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
And then and Ian McShane. And then the second one has, reenacted of Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep.
Comes back.
Yep.
Common.
He's a big part of 3. Lawrence Fishburne.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. And Halle Berry's in
Yeah.
the third one. It's just amazing. Like you said, they're the perfect movies.
Yeah.
And who would have thought?
Right.
That's like, so John Wick, where John Wick is good Keanu.
Right.
The other movie I watched, Man of Tai Chi.
Right.
Is bad Keanu.
Right. Which one of his best friends, Tiger Chen, who's the star of Man of Tai Chi.
Yes.
He features has a small role in John Wick 3.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I liked it. He was just atrocious, and I don't know.
And his
if it's
direction
'cause
is okay. Like the fight, like the camera rigs they had, the move around the people, that looked great.
Yes.
But Keanu, I guess he was just worried about directing, and he is beyond terrible in this movie.
Yeah.
And I love this guy. I'm a Keanu apologist.
I am too.
But fuck, he's terrible in Man of Tai Chi.
Yeah.
The only time he is good is when he has his black
Right.
mask on, and you don't really know it's him.
Yeah.
But when he speaks, it's almost like it's funny. It's like he needed somebody to direct him.
Yeah. Right.
To direct him.
Right. Yeah.
Because the one bad part about the movie was him, and it was awful.
Yeah.
And it was because he was directing the movie.
Right.
Nobody was directing.
Yeah.
his performance.
Now, but kudos to him. Like, he had this guy who was a stunt guy in all the Matrix movies, and he's this amazing martial artist, and nobody knows who he is. I'll just make a movie about him, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's like
I fucking love him, dude.
Yeah.
Like, Keanu, people can spit on him and say he's not a good actor or whatever, but dude, he is fucking awesome.
He is awesome. Like, he bought all the stunt guys in the Matrix movies Harleys. You know, like I said, one of his best friends, he's like, I'll just make a movie about it. Now, Tiger Chin is in Triple Threat,
right?
Which I believe which we'll probably all watch for next week's show. And
yes, that's right.
Like, he basically made that guy a martial arts star.
Yeah,
he just was a stunt guy who was like, just, you know, he was in big movies. He was in the Matrix movies and stuff. You know,
but he's like, he can handle more.
Yep, and just like when they shot the replacements, he gave up half his salary so Gene Hackman could be in the movie. Like, he's just, you know, like, he's one of those people. He's 55 years old. Have you ever heard anybody say anything bad about him? Like, yeah, no sex scandals.
No, man, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, lost his child. He's had some rough times.
Yeah, best friend OD'd outside a nightclub.
Yeah. I mean, he's had some rough times, and
he lost a girl that he was engaged to, right? That happened some time ago. He's been through some shit.
He's been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Lost the baby.
Yeah,
but
stillborn.
I fucking love him.
Yeah. I do too, man.
Like, if I ever saw him somewhere, I would be compelled to be like, "Hey, man,"
and
like give him a hug.
Yeah,
like, please.
Can I buy you a beer? I'll even smoke a cigarette.
You're just a cool fucking dude, man.
He should just never do period movies.
Yeah, never do period movies. And
damn it, Dracula! Are you bringing that back?
Not
up?
just that. I've seen another period stuff where it's just like, dude, he's a contemporary actor.
Yeah. Bill and Ted's is a period piece, and he was fantastic.
And they're bringing it back.
That's true.
And I'm going to watch it.
Oh,
whether I think it's going to be good or not. Of course, I'm going to watch it.
I think it's written by the same guys who wrote the first one, so I'm hopeful about that.
Believe it or not, I even like the Ronin movie. I mean,
I've never seen 47 Ronin.
It was 47 Ronin. It wasn't bad. I mean, it's not. Hey, it's not the best, but it's a Keanu. It's
he's fun.
He's like Brad Pitt.
Well, it's like this. It's like The Last Samurai.
Right.
Starring who?
Tom Cruise.
This is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, you've got this society, and there's this half white dude that's kind of the ringleader, and it just, outside of that, he's fun. It's just like, you see and you're like, nah.
But the movie wouldn't have got made without Keanu.
Right.
So,
and it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, I'm sure not.
And I really like the way it ends, Garrick.
Yes.
It had a not very, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's going to happen ending. And I like that. But is it great? No. It's on your best day when you're just feeling great and you're like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
It's a solid C-.
I got you.
You know.
Solid C. Well, like I said, I didn't say, it's not the top of my list, but he's got one of those guys. He's like Brad Pitt, man. Brad Pitt really has to do a crappy job for me not to like his movies.
Yeah.
And then, you know, even the movies that are terrible,
he's likable.
Yeah, he's likable. It's the charisma. It's like George Clooney's the same way.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there's just something. Now there's some guys that can make bad movies, like Ben Affleck, and you're just like, oh my god, like Forces of Nature with Sandra Bullock, and I love Sandra Bullock.
Right.
She spoke to me on the set of The Net. Like, I'll forever be ingrained to Sandra Bullock.
Yuck.
But you know, whatever.
So there you go. So I said yuck.
Yeah, I don't.
Was that a yuck for The Net or for Sandra Bullock?
Both. It's a double yuck.
That's your classic 2 yuck.
It's a double yuck. Sorry, everybody.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Well, whatever. I like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
I don't care if you do or not.
Yeah, fuck her. Fuck you too.
All right, fantastic. Well, there you go. So we got good Keanu and bad Keanu for Garrick's movies.
Nice.
So now we'll just get into good Michelle Yeoh.
There we go.
You want to introduce our movie for this week?
This is the second movie she starred in, but the first one that was released.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Royal Warriors from 1986. It's, like I would say, this is her Die Hard. You know, if you remember the movie that made Bruce Willis, Die Hard made Bruce Willis a movie star. This movie made her a movie star because she was not a trained martial artist. You know, was Miss Malaysia in the Miss World contest like 1982. She was in a TV commercial with Jackie Chan like a year later, and then somebody saw that and was just like, put her in a movie.
I like that.
And she just, you know, I talk about Keanu Reeves, not a not a trained martial artist in the conventional sense, but he's works really hard. Just the same with Michelle Yeoh. She works super hard and is amazing in this movie. And it's a very simple movie. She's a Hong Kong police detective. The one of the actors from our last week or 2 weeks ago's film, Hiroki Sadada, is a Japanese police detective,
yes.
And Nick Chang is a sky marshal.
Yes,
and which is a little unbelievable. They're all on the same plane, but they're on a plane when it's taken over by terrorists. There's one of the terrorist group is being transferred from prison to prison, and so there's a fight on the plane. Then these guys, I wouldn't even say they're a terrorist group. They're like a gang. They're like all army veterans.
Yes, and
they just basically have a blood oath with one another. One of them dies, they all die. You know.
Yep.
And that was a question I had. What war?
I think they were. Here's what I've watched this movie several times. I think they were pro. They were basically. I think they were Vietnamese soldiers that were on America's side.
Yes, that's what I got.
It was the Vietnam Wars.
Yeah,
is what. Okay, that's what I thought.
They're South Vietnamese soldiers. I mean, they never say. That's just kind of how I...
Yeah, I kind of thought. I was just curious what your opinion on that was.
And so just basically these 3 police officers, they're in Hong Kong after this plane lands, after they kill 2 members of this gang, and the rest of the other 3 guys are basically just going to kill them no matter what. I mean, these guys they are wild dogs.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazingly entertaining movie. It really kind of kick-started the girls with guns genre in Hong Kong. Because after this movie was released, it was a huge hit. They released her first movie, which is called Yes, Madam, with her and Cynthia Rothrock. Who, if you watched HBO in the early 90s, you saw some of her movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not a double yuck yuck.
That's a double yeah.
And anyway, but yeah, like I say, very simple movie, but just amazing stunts,
the stunts
amazing
are
fights,
ridiculous.
Yeah, and it ends with Michelle Yeoh driving a SWAT team tank, and then she gets into a chainsaw fight.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
It's amazing what they do.
Right.
Like this movie's so simple. I was funny. My son was watching this with me. Mm-hmm. And when Michael, the character Michael, and the bad guy, can't remember his name,
right,
are standing on top of that building.
Yeah.
I paused it and I said, River, guess what? What do you think is happening right here? Of course, he had no idea. I said, you want to know? They're actually standing on top of that building. They are actually high beaming it on that building, and they're shooting it on top of that building, which would never happen these days.
Nope.
Never. They'd put him on a green screen and make it look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he straight up fell off that.
Oh yeah.
That was 100% a stunt where he went off the building into the ground.
When they filmed the first Rush Hour movie, they were having a film a scene on top of this skyscraper where the camera had to look out over it and look down.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
Jackie, and Brett Ratner was trying to talk. We got to get a crane, got to get up here, bring the guys up here, put it together. Jackie Chan was like, "No, give me the camera, tie a rope around my waist, have that guy hold it, and I'll put my feet on the edge and just lower me like 6 inches where I kind of perch over the side of the building, and I'll just get the shot." And he was like, "Is that what you guys spend your money on? Cranes?" he's like, and Barrett was like, "It took 5 minutes."
Yeah. Took 5 minutes.
As opposed to a whole day.
Yeah.
Bringing a crane up there and putting it together and everything. Yeah.
That's the amazing art of kung fu.
Yeah.
And these guys, they go to the opera dance schools.
Yep.
They learn like Jackie Chan. It's what they do. It's the one thing. Like, if there's any regrets in my life, learn not.
Right.
Not being able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go back and just be a stuntman for a year of my life would be so awesome. And these guys are amazing.
The ingenuity of the filmmaking.
Oh, yeah.
Is incredible.
Oh, yeah. Hey, like you just said.
Yeah.
Hey, so Michelle's going to actually jump off this building, so just give her the camera.
Yeah.
And have the camera locked in.
Exactly.
I mean, and
like I said, she was a ballerina, so I think that kind of gave her a leg up as far as the choreography and stuff.
And that fight at the end with the chainsaw, and then when she bounces him up.
Which is 100% her.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just the movie. And what's funny is there's a couple of big big moments in that movie, like the car.
Yeah.
There's one of the main actors is, and this is a spoiler, so don't listen to it if you haven't seen this movie. But his kid, his baby, and wife are blown up.
Yeah. And you do not see, like, first time I did not see that coming.
Did not see that coming. Yeah. And then Michael, one of the main characters, dies.
Right. Yeah.
And one of the,
he was terrible.
Well, I know, but still, so the structure of this film is very.
There's a lot going on. It's not lighthearted.
No.
Yeah, it's not. You're right.
But then there'll be 5-10 minutes that is very lighthearted.
But then he gets back, and you're like, oh shit, that guy just fell off a building.
That's what's crazy is you the first 2 minutes of this movie, they're dancing in the streets with 80s and boomboxes, like Doug was talking about.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes in, there's a baby and a wife getting blown up in a car.
Yeah. While they're looking back at the husband that's desperately trying to get there. It's gut-wrenching.
Yeah, this is our second movie in a row that has Hiroyuki Sanada in it, and he's incredible in this movie. When they bury him under the bad guy's in the front end loader and just dumps the sand on him, and he's completely like, you would never, even Tom Cruise wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah,
because basically that could go wrong in so many ways.
Absolutely.
There's a big rock in it. There's he could have been killed. It looks very simple, but having hundreds of pounds of sand dumped on your head, you could get hurt very easily.
Absolutely. And these guys just do it. And I bet $1 million are not paid nearly as much as Tom Cruise was paid.
No, not at all.
This movie is a must-see.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a must-see.
Yeah, it is. As far as the girls with gun genre, which there were tons of in the mid to late 80s, this is the best one. If you want to see one, see this one.
Yeah.
And after that, you can go see Magnificent Warriors and the other movies, which are some are good, some are terrible. But this one is, there's a reason why she's the only female actor who's ever had equal billing with Jackie Chan. Most actors don't get equal billing with Jackie Chan. And when they made Super Cop together, he was like, put her name at the top of the poster. And that's why they have the helicopter scene where he's hanging onto it. He added that so she wouldn't one up him, because she was that good in the movie. And she's incredible in this.
She's badass. Also,
is there anybody like her
today? The closest you could get is Charlize Theron, who did a lot of her own fighting in Atomic Blonde. But really, that's that's American equivalent. That's not. That's not an apples to apples comparison.
There's not a Golden Harvest.
Brigitte Nielsen, circa 1986, maybe,
where she was Drago's wife.
where
Red Sonja?
Hell yeah, where she's hyped up as like just this super badass woman.
Yeah.
But minus the skill level.
I'm talking about skill
level. No.
What about the girl? And I can't think of her name. That's in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The young girl.
I don't think so. No.
To nobody.
The closest is a young lady who's also in Triple Threat, Zhang Ji Li, who is Thai. She's. Have you ever seen the movie Chocolate?
Yeah.
She's in. She is an incredible martial artist.
Chocolat?
No, Chocolate.
Chocolat.
Okay.
Zhang Li. She's in Memoirs from a Geisha.
Yes.
Yes, and she's in Shadow.
Right.
Oh, that which looks amazing.
Do you think so? That's too much CGI for me. That makes my I don't like that. I'm not that guy. What's that guy? The
Dark City. Robert Rodriguez.
No. The guy who did Shadow did the one I know was Zhang Ji Li. The one where she's blind. Brother of the Flying Daggers. Yes. I just don't like that guy's movies. Everything is just too much CGI and just.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like them. I'm honest with you, I don't really like, if you take out the Zhang Ji Li portion of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it's amazing. But that 40 minutes where she's falling in love in the desert kills the movie.
Yeah.
It just stops it dead in its tracks. And so, as far as, go back to your original question, is there anybody who is the equivalent of Michelle Yeoh? I have to say no, worldwide. That's why people say, like a movie like Wonder Woman will come out. They're like, an action movie with a woman. I'm like, there's literally dozens of them.
And
they're just not English.
And they're not doing anything.
No.
Yeah,
exactly.
Not like Michelle.
No.
That was one thing that, what was Royal, not Warriors.
Magnificent Warriors.
Magnificent Warriors. Dude, as great as she was in Royal Warriors, check out Magnificent Warriors if you want to see her specifically doing some amazing stunts and fight scenes, dude. She is.
Check this. Is that on Amazon?
It's also on Prime.
Like that movie is all about her to me. You know, that's why it's like, well,
it's a showpiece.
I'm not really sure about the story and all, but everything that she does in it is beautiful. And she's smiling and kicking ass and doing her thing, and there's a lot of slow-mo shots. And,
that's why I tell people she's my favorite actress.
Yeah.
They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, but she jumped a dirt bike onto a moving train.
She does stuff.
I mean, let's put Glenn Close on a dirt bike, try to jump on a moving train. See where that gets you.
No, it's a good movie. There's a nice car chase scene.
Oh yeah,
involving
cars driving over one another.
Yeah, a Mitsubishi truck, an old BMW, and a Jaguar in the middle of Hong Kong, which is still a really good scene.
Oh yeah, and this is before there was up until a few years ago there was no Hong Kong Film Commission. Mm-mm. The street you were on, you paid off the gangster who controlled it, and you shot there until you had to move to another location.
As fast as
you
could,
paid off that guy, the next guy. So it was literally just like you just showed up and started shooting. Which the fact they did stuff like talking about the car chase, where there's literally like trucks driving over small cars.
Yeah,
in the middle of traffic, it's insane.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My only complaint about this movie, is a very small one, and it's really irrelevant.
Right.
The music is so fucking weird. It goes from like a Seinfeld-y, and I'm like, man, that's Seinfeld-y.
I thought you were going to talk about the
to like a piano, like the firm.
Dramatic, real dark and dramatic. Like when Michael
Piano
dies,
lady, it's like the firm.
Yeah.
It's like you know, playing the piano to like the most random 1984 heavy metal music that you could muster up at that time.
Yeah.
And all three of those, makes the soundtrack. Yeah. And it's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Does it matter? No.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for something to complain about. There you go. And Michael, fuck him.
I was going to say, Michael Wong, the actor Michael Wong, whose character's name in the movie is Michael Wong, is a black hole of charisma.
Yeah.
He has never done one fight scene. He was renowned for just being a handsome dude who could not act or fight. He doesn't speak Chinese. Like everything he's ever said.
I really hated him.
Everything he's ever said has been dubbed.
Yeah.
You know, like he's just there to be handsome. And he was kind of famous for just sucking.
There's a scene where he gets shot in the Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
And then he gets shot in the other one.
Yeah.
And
I'm
pretty sure I was like, yes! Immediately back
he is
to
the
back.
Achilles heel of the movie.
Because fuck him. Yeah. And the bar fight was fucking awesome.
Oh, the bar fight.
We didn't touch on the bar fight. The bar fight was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So everything was.
Yeah, it's on Prime. If you have a Prime subscription, even if you don't, do the 5-day free trial just to watch Royal Warriors. Yeah. It's that good a movie.
I'm surprised that this wasn't, and maybe it was, but like ripped off in some way in a
right,
like in an Americanized version.
Yeah,
because I kept watching, and I'm like, man, did somebody kind of. And I couldn't think of anything.
It doesn't work in America.
And they were so hard to get a hold of up until the early 2000s. You know, like the beginning of Tango and Cash, where the guys, Chuck slams on the brakes and the guys come out of the windshield. That's from Police Story. Like basically what Hong Kong movies you could get out of in the 80s, that's what got ripped off.
Yeah.
You know. Like there's stunts in the movies that are taken from Jackie Chan movies, because back then you couldn't find them. Yeah. You had to go to a convention and find the bootleg dude who was some dude with a bad company mullet. And just like, I will say I do kind of miss the bootleg dude. Because, I mean, as much as, like, this movie's on Prime. There are literally hundreds of Hong Kong movies on Prime.
Yes.
Hundreds of Italian horror movies, more than you could ever watch. But there was a thing to back in the 90s having to find these movies. It made it sort of more special.
Right.
You know, the copies didn't look as good. That's actually why we ended up doing Ninja and the Dragon's Den, because I bought a movie
that you couldn't watch.
I couldn't watch. It was unwatchable. It was a VHS rip on DVD.
Right.
And but even having that kind of made me nostalgic. Like I remember buying those movies. So that's how I saw the Venom movies originally.
So let me ask y'all this: do you consider this a kung fu movie?
No. It's an action movie that has martial arts.
It's an action adventure movie.
Yeah. Action before, right?
My first year when I lived in Los Angeles, I wrote a script in a pencil form in a notebook called Reinforcement.
You wrote something with a pencil.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Who you, Ben Franklin? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's how, that's how. But I wrote the first, the film was actually about 3 police officers. Charlize Theron was going to be in it, Brad Pitt and Keanu Reeves, which ironically works for Royal Warriors.
Yeah.
Kind of the same, it's kind of the same concept, but where the conflict came in is that Keanu Reeves had an affair with Brad Pitt's wife,
right?
And so them working together with Charlize Theron on this terrorist group coming in was going to be very problematic.
Right.
And what's great is 55 minutes into the movie, Keanu Reeves' character dies.
Right.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, so you almost wrote a remake of Royal Warriors.
That's right.
Without even realizing it.
Oh, yes, that's right. Without even realizing it. And, I think that's great.
And that's a good thing, because this movie it's very by the numbers story-wise, but the execution is what makes it.
Yes.
The 2 of the 3 leads are incredible. The other one is just there to be annoying.
Yes.
And I guess he's supposed to be the comic relief, although he's not funny. But I mean, that's a very small. Like, the movie's so awesome. There's some things like a lame performance can almost drag a movie down. Like, to go back to Die Hard, like Ellis. Ellis is one of the worst people.
He came really close to fucking everything up.
Ellis is so lame.
Yeah.
I would. The only other character who's more lame than Ellis is the babysitter in Goodfellas.
Bonnie Bedelia.
Lois
is the worst character.
I swear I would smash Lois. If Lois was my babysitter, I would
Johnny,
smash
get my
her.
lucky hat.
I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday. I said, if I was Henry Hill and I saw the cops coming, I would just take my gun out and just shoot Lois in the head, because you're going to jail anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Because she's the worst person. And Ellis and also Michael Wong's character in this movie are both very terrible. They're not Lois terrible, but that's the Mount Rushmore of all.
Fucking Ellis.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of American remakes,
did
you guys see they're going to Americanize Train to Busan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why?
Because
it makes money.
I guess it'll make money. But
it won't here.
The people who would be interested in seeing a movie like that have already seen the first one.
Right.
So I don't. It's like we were talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's a movie that won't have an audience.
Yeah. Who are you catering?
Yeah. Who are you catering that movie to? I mean,
it's true. Right.
I don't know.
Good point.
Because the people who just want to see zombies, they can watch 17 seasons of The Walking Dead.
Or I mean, there've been a multitude of movies.
Right. Or they could just watch. And the only good thing is it'll let more people know about Train to Busan, the original. That's really the only good thing. And hopefully the director will got a big fat paycheck. The guy who wrote and directed the first one.
Something like that, I don't understand the reasoning. Like, take an older Asian movie like The Ring. I understand why it was Americanized.
Yeah.
Because it was a unique story. It was and the way it was done was great. And then we kind of ruined it.
Right. But also no one in America had seen those J-horror movies before The Ring came out.
Same thing with the
Grudge?
Grudge.
Yeah.
Same deal. It's like, man, those were really good, but if you go back and watch
the
originals, they don't even compare.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But a movie like this, where it's simply an action movie about some people on a train with zombies, I don't see the allure of going out of your way if you're a big producing company and being like, I want to buy the rights to that so we can make it over here.
Well, we're talking about it's
already on Netflix. It's like
it's already there.
Yeah,
we already have
it's happening.
And also, we've talked about every time Don Lee, who's the big muscle guy. They're never like that. Was just they just found that guy who was just perfect. Like, they're not going to put anybody. They're not going to find anybody that cool who's unknown in America.
Yeah. Or are they going to put him in it again?
I don't know.
They
could.
You know what I mean?
Like, now that actually would be interesting. Yeah, because he's the best thing in the movie.
They may say he's the best thing in the movie. Why don't we use him as?
Because if they try and use some American meathead to play this guy, it's not going to work.
It's going to be Chris Hemsworth,
and I wouldn't be shocked if
Dave Bautista.
It's going to be Batista.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it will be. And what happened? Godzilla only made $49 million. Speaking of remakes, why? So
it was number one. That's the main thing they were concerned about. It beat Aladdin.
What is this a remake of?
It's not really a remake. It's a.
I mean, this is bringing in Mothra and Rodan
King Ghidorah.
And
I think there's like 10 monsters in it at the end.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
I saw a little something about it.
Well, why would they just blow their load like that? Why wouldn't they just make like
I think
Godzilla
they're just going to
versus
keep
Mothra?
making. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, Godzilla versus Kong is coming out next year. So, I mean, they're not stopping.
So, yeah.
And also, here's something I just found out. The guy who owns AMC Theaters also owns Legendary Pictures, this Chinese billionaire.
Really?
And that used to be illegal in America. Because, in the 30s, movie studios owned theaters. But then, FDR was like, hold up, there's some collusion there. And, but I think they undid that law 10 years ago.
So the spoiler for the new Godzilla movie is that he is definitely going to make it.
Yeah, well.
Right?
Yeah.
To fight King Kong on where? Skull Island?
I don't know. Yeah. I know the one from the King Kong Skull Island 2 years ago. That he was that version of it was 13. That's not the full grown Kong. So when you see him in the new movie, he will be adult size. He will be as big as Godzilla.
So if it is from that same
universe. It's from that same. Yeah.
I liked that movie.
I did too.
I think
I did too. It's definitely better than the Peter Jackson movie, which I tried to rewatch a couple months ago, and it was just a no-go.
It's impossible.
I didn't get past the boat trip.
Nobody does.
No, yeah.
Because it's an hour and fucking 45 minutes of being on a goddamn boat.
That's right.
You're just in a screen and thinking, show me the monkey!
For God's sakes, man! Give me the monkey!
I don't hate what happens once they get to the island.
No, that part's
and I don't hate what happens when they get to New York.
It's just like, oh great, it's Adrian Brody typing.
Oh my God, 4 hours in, we finally made it to New York. Great, okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen to someone like Train to Busan.
Yeah.
If you're going to go shot for shot, don't bother.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you just want to make a movie about zombies on a train, why?
Yeah.
Like, we've got them everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't
I get it. I'm with you. That's why I brought it up.
That's why they will get no money from me, and I will shit talk them on here to keep people from watching it, because maybe if enough people don't go and support it, then they'll stop doing it. It's never going to happen, but still, that's my hope.
Got us a movie?
I do. And it is sort of a sequel to Royal Warriors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because Royal Warriors was released as Royal Warriors, but then in some countries it was released as In the Line of Fire. But then some movies, in some countries where Royal Warriors had not been released yet, Yes Madam was released as In the Line of Fire, so then Royal Warriors was released in those countries as In the Line of Fire 2. So the movie I'm talking about tonight is In the Line of Fire 4, which is sort of kind of a sequel to Royal Warriors, even though it has none of the same characters. It's just a cop movie. It stars Cynthia Khan as the Michelle Yeoh type, but she's also a very good martial artist, and a very young Donnie Yen.
What's her name?
Cynthia Khan.
Yeah.
And Donnie Yen's like 20 years old. And they're San Francisco police detectives, and, they end up getting involved in a drug case, and their witness flees to Hong Kong, so they have to follow, and they end up getting involved in all this shenanigans in Hong Kong. And there are great fight scenes in it. There's a scene where Cynthia Khan is fighting this American female martial artist, where they're hanging on the inside of like a metal staircase, not like in the shaft. They're like falling and grabbing on and kicking each other, and it's like it moves down this staircase from the inside. And the steps are incredible. And it's also on Prime. It's called In Line of Fire 4. The DVD is released just as In the Line of Fire. So, like I said, it's very... There were like 8 movies released in the series, all of which were released under other titles.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on where you are.
Exactly. So anybody that loves 80s Kung Fu movies is going to know this movie.
Yeah, it's really good. It has more of an anti-American... Like the bad guy's the CIA, spoiler alert, although it doesn't matter. And it also has Michael Wong in it as a completely different character.
Nice.
Although he's not as terrible as he is in Royal Warriors.
I don't hate the guy. I just hated him in that.
He's not. He's never been awesome in a movie.
Well,
he just walks around being handsome. And it's not like Brad Pitt where he can actually act. You go, oh, that guy's good.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Michael Wong.
He's not that fucking handsome. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, In Line of Fire 4. If you like Royal Warriors, you absolutely love Part 4, which is not connected to it at all. And it has a lot of the guys, like 2 American guys, that, because Donnie Yen's from Boston. Mm-hmm. has two of the guys who has trained with him and his mom, like his mom's martial arts school. So it has like his two best friends as like evil CIA agents, and they have great fights. Yeah, highly recommend.
Okay. All right, so tonight's Bathwater Showdown is between the two powerhouses, Cynthia Khan against Michelle Yeoh. Who is the better stunts? Who is the better woman kung fu master?
It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle Yeoh is the greatest female action star of all time.
Sorry. And she smiles after every time she kicks somebody's ass. You want to fuck her because she's gorgeous. And she just gives you like
well,
the
so then
schoolgirl.
Charlize Theron would be the closest American. Who would be the closest American?
There isn't one. I told you.
There really isn't one.
I told you. It's Brigitte.
Yeah. It's not Brigitte. Stop bringing up Brigitte Nelson. That's not going to happen.
You know what? There you go. We're going to do Brigitte Nelson.
No, let's not.
Cynthia Rothrock, I guess, would be the American because they were both doing kung fu movies at the same time.
That's fine. So let's do that. I like that. I just want to see if anybody can stand up to Michelle Yeoh's power.
Yeah.
So Cynthia.
Answer? No.
Yeah. But it's a poll. It's not the Doug poll.
Is it? Yeah, it isn't the Doug poll. You're not even on Facebook. What do you even care?
You're not even going to vote. Shut up.
I care.
Yeah, you're not going to vote. So there you go. There's the Bathwater Showdown after a couple of weeks off. We haven't had one. By the way, the Game of Thrones one. Basically, we ask if without season 8 ruined the whole series, and it was a landslide no. So, I know that. I just was letting you know.
Let me go home and kill myself.
I didn't say that.
Because somebody disagreed with me on fucking social media.
Oh my god!
I mean, don't not do it on our account.
I'll do it on your account, motherfucker.
All right, well, we're getting down to the end.
Yep.
One more kung fu movie, and then we're moving on to the Monster Mash.
Hong Kong movie. This is certainly not going to be a kung fu.
It has kung fu in it.
Seventh Curse?
Yeah, it has some kung fu in it.
Just a touch.
Well, okay, so it's the 80s.
Is it just the tip of kung fu?
No, there's martial arts in it.
Just the tip.
But also there's monsters and
other things.
Skin, people scraping their skin off. Veins.
A big stone machinery thing that crushes children. Yeah. That no one even tries to stop. Yeah, it's an insane movie.
And we're getting ready to do that. And then we are actually going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do the Monster Mash. We were actually, at first, we were going to each come up with one obscure monster movie to choose, and we were going to watch, all the block, one of each of ours. But we decided that maybe you guys should pick it. And so now we've got suggestions on the Facebook page.
Yep.
Go
what
by.
Do you got?
Well, we've got some great suggestions, Doug.
Okay.
We've got from Michael Cooper, we've got Jan Gari, Monster from the Deep, the X from Outer Space. We've got some of these I've never even heard of. Day of the Trifids. Have you heard of this? I'm sure you have, Lee. Yeah. You've heard of everything. Dragon Wars. Jordan Melton said Dragon Wars.
That's great.
Of course, Clam Sepulveda said Bad Taste. I don't know if that's a monster movie.
It has aliens in it, but
Mike D said Cowboys and Dinosaurs. No further explanation required, and he sent us a trailer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Casey Wheelock, he had a couple of good ones. Rawhead Rex, The Descent, Feast. I really like Feast.
I do too. I think
that's a good one. I've only seen it one time.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it.
Okay, I saw it in its one showing in the theater in Charlotte.
Wow. So I like that one. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Trog. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's one where Greg Crane from 1973 where the snake
guy turns into a snake. Yeah, you don't say it. You hiss it.
So I think we should definitely do that one.
Yeah.
So there you go. We've got two then. Did you hear that? We've picked two. Feast and
Suck it.
We've got a third one that we will get from the Facebook page to be determined. So keep sending in these great suggestions. They're great. Well, that's it for me this week, guys.
That's it.
All right, we will see you next week where we are doing the seventh curse in the final block of the Hong Kong 80s movies.
Yep.
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Tales from the Video Store. This episode sponsored by Shudder. Oh, the horror. All streaming for you. Recorded in Underland.